The prosecution in the lori-vallow-Daybell murder trial called an FBI tactical specialist back to the stand this morning. Vallow, of course, is the Eastern Idaho mom charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and grand theft in the deaths of two of her kids, JJ and Tylee, and her husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. News Channel 7's Shira Matsuzawa has been at the Ada County Courthouse since the beginning of this trial. Shira, walk us through today's testimony so far.
Well, Doug, the focus of today's testimony was really on the story of James and Elena, which witnesses say corresponds with the real-life actions, or reported actions rather, of Lori Vallow and her fifth and current husband, Chad Daybell. Now, that story began in October of 2018, and that's the same time when the couple also first met at a conference in Utah. Nicole Heidemann previously testified last month on April 24th, and today she talked about how she organized and was tasked with organizing the entire James and Elena love story and created a PowerPoint presentation. Nicole testified that there was a lot of evidence that mirrored the James and Elena story with Chad and Lori's interactions. For example, when James and Elena first met in the story, James Googled Elena. In real life, Chad Googled Lori. James was an author. Chad was an author. Nicole also testified that in the story of James and Elena, they traveled to a conference in November in Arizona, and Elena asks her friends as well as James to stay with her. In November of 2018, Chad and Lori attended a conference, and Lori asked friends as well as Chad to stay with her. She testified there were also other travel dates that corresponded with Chad and Lori's travel, as in the story, and the jury also heard and saw more text messages between the couple in which they referred to themselves as James or Elena. Next, Idaho Attorney General lead investigator Nicholas Edwards took the stand. He testified between October 9th and 10th, there were 90 calls and text messages exchanged between Chad, Lori's brother Alex Cox, and his wife of 2 weeks, Zulema. He said he noticed during this time from Alex and Chad were texting and calling each other significantly more, and their phones were also near one another. October 9th was the night investigators say someone attempted to shoot at Tammy Daybell. Tammy died 10 days later on October 19th. Of 2019. Edwards then presented a timeline of texts and phone calls between Lori and Chad, as well as Alex during that same time frame. He also testified about being on Chad Daybell's property the day the kids' remains were found. JJ and Tylee disappeared in September of 2019. Investigators found their remains on Chad's property in June of 2020. And Edwards says when they found JJ buried, floods of emotion came through to him because he has a son that's similar age with JJ. Now, Doug, real quick, court just braked for lunch right now. There is speculation that the state could rest their case, but that's unknown right now, but we'll be sure to keep everyone updated at ktvb.com.
Yeah, now several weeks into the prosecution presenting its side of the story. Shira, thank you so much. And this is New at Noon. The verdict from the trial will be live streamed as it happens. This is according to a court order issued by Judge Stephen Boyce this morning. Judge Boyce banned cameras from the courtroom before the trial started, but has updated the order to allow for the live stream of the verdict. The cameras broadcasting the live stream will be operated by the court, meaning there will still be no outside cameras allowed.